Hey, everybody. I think I've got everybody up this week rather than putting them down. We'll start at the top. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Good.
Yeah, we're all right.
Great to see you, Scott. How was your week, Scott?
It was busy, but I had some surprises this week, so it was kind of fun.
And are we going to get to see some of those surprises?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Get the comments up. Okay. And Carl, how are you after a crazy week of finals? And you how old are you? Your two oldest daughters?
14 and 11.
God bless you.
What is that like? How is it with the phone?
Oh, God. It's the 11-year-old is the one that's the most difficult with the phone.
Is she really? Oh, my God.
Sometimes you have to get upset and I take it from her for a week.
I can't imagine you being a disciplinarian, Carl. You're just too nice.
It's just that it disrupts the whole household when they do these things, and I get upset sometimes. Just take it.
We've got to remember at that age that their friends are number one in the world. Their music that they listen to, not your music, is number two. And parents are like 15th or something. So it's kind of crazy. And Jim, poor Jim, as they say in England, he's poorly. He has a cold.
No, I'm all right. I've just got a cold, but I'm up north, so I'm in a house devoid of any furniture, beds, anything. So I have nothing to bring to the table this week.
No, that's okay. We're just happy that you're here. If you need to beg off a little early, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah,
we really appreciate you being here. And Jack, how's life in Tennessee?
It was 65 today and 42 tomorrow, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the winter. You know,
yeah.
All good.
And last but not least, the lady at the panel, Angie from American Sound in Toronto. How you doing, Ange?
Good, great, thank you.
It's great to see everybody here. This is our last show of the season, as they say. We're gonna go on hiatus, or as they say in England, we're gonna be dark for 2 weeks. So next Wednesday is Christmas Day, no show Christmas Day. Then the following Wednesday is New Year's Day. There'll be no show New Year's Day. But we'll be back. Where are we here with these images? We'll be back on the 8th, January the 8th, with Brian Taylor from the Gramophone, and then and we'll be continuing from there. So that's the schedule. Let's put up some comments. A lot of comments already.
Mm-hmm.
From Andrew from Oz, wonderful Andrew. Merry Christmas from the ECML team. What's that? Oh yeah, Everything Classical Music live stream team. Have a great show. Don't forget the Messiah story. Oh yeah, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
We promised we've got to talk. We got to say the Messiah story tonight.
All right.
Do you remember we promised? We promised the Messiah. So I'll start it off, but you can do some of your interjections will be funnier. Okay. So we'll 25 in Canberra. How nice is that? And Ray from New Zealand, Christchurch. Merry Christmas to all. Just at a heart-stopping moment on the New Zealand auction site. Trade me. So we got the Argenta Espana Decca with the triangle logo. Oh, and with two other records, a Mercury and a Duke Quartet. I'm not sure that is Thompson for $18. I hit buy now, only to realize the Decca is a World Record Club version. What are the differences, Scott, between World Record Club and then the regular Decca?
Well, they were only issued in Australia, I think, but I think they use the same plates in some cases. You should check that.
It may not be a bad deal after all.
No.
Well, you could get World Record Club records in the UK as well. Were they the same ones?
I would think so.
Did he say España?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that too in the World Record Club. I'll check it.
Oh, great. Okay. And then Ray says, have a great show all. And of course, Joey says, hello, everyone. Hope you are well. It's the best night of the week. Let's go. Jack, why don't you tell the gang what Joey did for you this week?
So, I do this channel called Straight Talk with Jack. It's really a jazz-oriented channel, and I try to talk about one classical record at the end. I didn't at the last one, but I try to bring one up at the very end. But Joey was nice enough to do about 5 or 6 or 7 audio voiceovers that introduced the video at the very beginning. I put one in on the last one, and today I got 5 MP4 intros. I'm going to use one next week. I'm going to review the new Miles Davis records that just came out from Acoustic Sounds next week. So thank you so much, and I'll be using one of those videos next week. They're fantastic. If anybody needs a voiceover done, I tell you, Joey, you've got to come up some night, and when you do, you need to just.
I don't know why Joey doesn't. He's a DJ. He's very outgoing on his channel.
Yeah,
he's a very good looking man.
He should be doing voiceover.
But I don't know. Maybe tonight we may even be getting at the very end of the show. That I think convinced the producer to come and say Merry Christmas to everybody.
Wow.
So if Jan can come on, you can. And here's another one that I think I've convinced to come up at some time. Leanne, lovely to see you, Leanne. And of course, Joey, always kind. Hope you feel better, James.
Thank you, Joey.
Prayers and good vibes, my friend James. Hey, listen, Joey, he's got a cold. Okay, he's not. He didn't have major surgery. He's got a bloody cold. No, I'm just kidding. And Leanne, look at the lump Jim's getting.
Oh, well, that's nice. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Leanne.
Good. And this is, what do you call it, Julianne? It's Leanne, you silly bugger.
Well, no, I said Leanne.
Oh, I thought I should call it Julianne.
No.
Sky, good evening, all. Good evening, Sky. How are you doing? Now, hi, Jim. James Myers. Good evening, everyone. James, I'm going to talk a little bit about some VC love I got today, and very, very much appreciated. And what's going on, Sky? Well, Sky's eating apple pie in Kansas City. We know that. Wicked Exile. Hey, Wicked, it's good. I saw Wicked first thing this morning, 6 a.m. on Racial Show, and we were talking. And some of the guys, KRWD, I forget, and a few other guys go on Racial Show as well, have come on our show. And Scott Stableford, good evening, everybody. Looking forward to this holiday edition. Happy holidays, everybody. Absolutely. And Joey says, thank you, Jack. So kind.
Oh, no, it's the other way around.
And read this one, Jack.
Straight Talk is one of my favorite jazz-oriented channels. Well, thank you. There's so many around, and it's and I learned from the comments and the other channels too. It's
a great channel. If you're not subscribed to it, guys, Straight Talk with Jack. It's really wonderful. And Leanne says, yes, but it's a man cold. Though. So yeah, because I get, oh, Jan. Joey says, I care for you too, Anthony. Thank you, Joe. He's such a dear man. And Postal, hey Postal. Jan, what's Postal's first name? I think we've stumped him. Come on, Joey, show us some records. And then Joey says, present good vibes, my bestie Anthony. Oh, look. Soon.
Oh.
Don't tease us, you large, good-looking man. How dare you? How dare you? And there's Alan from Cranberry Sauce, also a star of the Racial Show. I didn't realize that, Alan came up here and was all friendly and nice and showing records, but I didn't realize he attends other shows as well. I didn't know about that.
Anthony, I used to go on Rachel's show way back in the beginning. We should all go on someday and talk about classical music.
Well, she was talking about classical music. She got Harbeth speakers. Yeah, she's madly in love with them, and good for her. They're lovely speakers, and she's going to enjoy them. But she's become this crazed audiophile. It's like Charles Brown. I'm like, when I gave it, we got some nice speakers and stuff. He became this crazy audiophile. It's like, even our friend Scott is getting all this great stuff, and it's a fun application. And you don't have to spend thousands. You can get into it nice and slowly, right?
Sure.
So Joey says he's taunting us soon. And Scott says, read that one, Scott.
Not playing favorites. I love Pressing Matters as well. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I have to tell you
Scott.
that there are some records that Scott's reviewed that I didn't know he was reviewing. And after I listened to Scott's review. I didn't have a whole lot to add, so I kind of just linked Scott's. I mentioned him and said list to Scott. So.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, this is.
I loved your review today. Was it today or yesterday?
Well, pat each other on the back, eh? It's great.
You know what we used to say? We used to say, enough about me.
Now let's talk about me. That's right.
What do you think about me?
Yes, that's right. Anyway, okay, so we're going to get to Angie in a second because we're going to talk about some equipment that we didn't get to last week. But I just want to go live for a second and show you a couple of things that I received this week that I think we could talk about. And they are the dreaded compact disc, which sound wonderful in my room. Okay, here we go. I got this today. I was talking to you about harmonium. And if Ryan comes up, I think Ryan was the one who was talking about harmonium. And this is the Telarc. It's the Robert Shaw. It's absolutely wonderful. I mean, what a conductor he is for vocal music, Robert Shaw. And his chorus in Atlanta is spectacular. Jim, do you know the Bells by Rachmaninoff?
Yeah. It's done quite a lot now in London. It's quite.
It is, I know, but it didn't impress me. I mean, I love Rachmaninoff. I love his symphonies. I love his orchestral music. I mean, I love the Dead and that. But this didn't. I mean, it was lovely, but the John Adams, if you want to get the harmonium, which I think is one of the most beautiful pieces, it's right up there with Harmony Lyra. Harmonic transitions and the power, and of course the words by Emily Dickinson. I know that Ryan doesn't like Emily Dickinson, but I love her. I love her poetry. So anyway, that's a great one. You can get that. Again, there's nothing really on vinyl unless Ryan comes and tells me. So that's really worth it. Now this one I got today. This is the Calidor, the early quartets. I've been looking forward to that. Isn't that a beautiful cover on Signum? It's not out yet, but I think you can pre-order it. I'm going to read you what Jim said. Greetings, Anthony. Just received these Beethoven Opus 18s by the Calidor String Quartet. When I ordered this from Signum, they stated the release date would be January 24. So you're one of, beg your pardon? Thank you. Would be January 24th. So you are one of the first. Thank you, sweetheart. As before, a review is not expected. I'm going to review them, of course, and it's not tomorrow. I'm also including a bonus CD. You're going to like this. For one of your secretly favorite instrumental ensembles. I believe this Live Tokyo concert is out of print. Even though it's SACD, it should sound great on your NVL. I wish you good health and thanks for your contributions to the music, to the promotion of listening to good music. Well, Jim, you're so much fun to be with and have fun with. And isn't that lovely? Jim's been talking about that recording. It's out of print, Live in Tokyo.
I think I got one right before it went out of print. I was lucky.
And this is with the Sibelius and the Rokoczy March and the G minor by Mozart. So I can't wait to crack that open and listen to that tomorrow. So thank you so much. That was so nice of you, Jim. And
you still have to look at the Telarc. I didn't know that they did an Adams on Telarc.
Oh, it's really good. Okay, so that's that. Now let's have a look and see what we
got. A Telarc, Anthony, that was horrible. Have you heard the Previn Alpine Symphony? The Previn.
Yes. Phil.
It's horrible. I mean, the sound is not. It's for Telarc. It was just. Maybe it was my CD or something. It just was.
I've heard some of this. They're quite good. The Vienna Phil play well.
Yeah.
So let's have a look and see some more comments. Leanne says, Leanne says, I'm having fun with new speakers. A beautiful pair of Persnickety Spender's A7. Oh yeah, Spender, beautiful. Angie, didn't you sell Spender back in the day?
Way back when.
And Joey says he's been finding a lot of great classical music on CD. Scott, you want to read that one, bud? From Jim?
Yes, from James Myers. Scott is contributing to my depleted bank account, especially the Impex One Steps. Thanks. I get that complaint a lot.
Scott in the sky.
And Scott talking to Leanne. Congrats, Leanne. I think you will like the Spenders. I have a pair of those they're close cousins. Rogers BBC monitors. Wow, way to go. And Matthew Parentis. Does anybody recognize Matthew's name? I think you maybe knew Matthew. I'm not sure.
Do.
Oh, from your channel or from the
Yeah,
show?
I recognize the last name from my channel.
Oh, okay.
Welcome, Matthew.
Yeah. Welcome, Matthew. Thank you for coming by. You pointed to Playboy. I'm not sure what that means, but are you a Playboy? Anyway, it's great to have you. And Joey says Sony has a lot of great classical music on CD. Didn't SACD get mentioned last week? Sure, we mentioned it all the time. It depends on. Yeah, my MBL does not have an SACD drive. Jürgen Rees does not like them. He says they add a lot of noise. The system, he has a whole white paper on it. And Leanne says about her speakers. Thanks, Scott. They are beautifully matched and are sounding great. Now that I figured out how to place them, you should come on and show us the speakers. Leanne, Spender's a lovely speaker. Spender is a mashup of Spencer and Dorothy, the husband and wife team that created the speakers. Oh, great, Scott. Okay, wonderful. So now I'm just going to just go on and show a couple of things that I got the slides for. Okay. Just to let you know, I reached out to Jeremy Denk today. I'm not sure if Jeremy can do the show, but Jeremy Denk is one of the finest American pianists before the public. I'm not sure where he studied. Juilliard Curtis, I think. I'm not sure. But he's a wonderful pianist and accompanist, collaborative pianist, as they say these days. And so I'm working on getting Jeremy on. I know we have a lot of great people coming up, though, including Nicholas Van Pucke, that Dutch concert pianist who's amazing. Okay, so this is coming. And Sky said to me today, "Are you getting the Ozawa box?" I'm really excited. I'm not sure yet. This is going to be very expensive, probably about 300 euros before records. This is the Boston Symphony Ozawa Ravel Deutsche Grammophon. The problem is that some of them, the Symphony Fantastique with Ozawa was wonderful on the original source. Mavlast with Kubelik was not good from Symphony Hall Boston. And sometimes they tame it without any chairs in there or any people.
Right.
Sometimes they don't. So I think I'll wait for people to start raving about them before I order them. But it'll be a lovely box set. I mean, the performances are wonderful. What we got there, we've got Daphnis and La Valse, Rhapsody Espanol. I mean, the whole Daphnis. It'll be wonderful. I'm just not sure about the recording yet. You know, they've not been hitting them out of the park on the Deutsche Grammophon. The opening, everyone, the big FOMO and everybody freaking out about them. But there's been some real, not quite as strong. The only one about the esoteric, well, actually about the foray, was it was the choice of the original recordings location, nothing to do with esoteric, right? With them, they did a beautiful remastering it, but it's that original acoustic. These guys at Emile Berlin are really trying to figure out how to. Some of the things are great. Some of the sounds from the Boston Symphony Hall are great. Like the original Tilson Thomas Image is incredible. It's on the Dream list, an original DG. Can you believe that? But some have not been good. So I'm fingers crossed that it's wonderful. We can all buy it. Okay. This has just come out. 80 CDs. Isn't that wonderful? I'm not sure how. Get it now because it's going to be fairly inexpensive and it's going to get to be out of print and very expensive. 80 CDs of Michael Tilson Thomas. And he's got stuff with, early Boston. Although, no, sorry, that's a different box, the DG box. But LSO and San Francisco and Philharmonia. And, you see Charles Ives there. He's a wonderful conductor and he's still going strong. Amazing with his illness. Incredible. That was interesting. I thought I'd bring it to you guys' attention. I got an email the other day from these guys, the Tumai String Quintet. I read it as quartet. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's really nice. And they're doing kind of Brazilian style music. So try and have a listen to that if you want. It's something completely different, as they say. Oh, yes, Angie. This is for Angie and all the audiophiles in the audience. Have you heard of Oswald's Mill Audio, Ange?
Yes, I have.
Yes. They make, it's a very urbane gentleman who runs it. Obviously, he's got some money behind him. The stuff that he creates are incredibly expensive, very unique, kind of esoteric equipment, amplifiers, very heavy basses for turntables, and these wacky speakers. Yes.
Yeah.
But they, yeah, really good. They get great reviews. But he did his latest video, OMA, Oswald Mills Audio, on the future of high-end audio. And I didn't agree with a lot of it, but he spoke very, very well. And he talks about how this business is going. And Angie and I have spoken about that. So I would urge you all to have a look at that. He's a very nice man. You can see his crazy speaker there at the top.
I did get to hear that speaker once here in
What did
Miami.
what
Yeah,
did
the
you-
one that looks like a butterfly.
What did
It
you
was
think?
it was very good. I
Oh,
liked it.
great.
Yeah. That was at Soundlux Audio.
Wow. Well, anyway, have a look for that, guys. That video, it's and some of his other videos are very well done. Okay, and the next slide. Okay, we're going to start talking about some equipment now. I'm going to do very briefly on some stuff that I'm doing. If you spend your life on, if audiophiles spend their life online, you'd be forgiven to think the only amplifier out of Norway is by Hagel. Hagel this, Hagel that, Hagel this, Habet this, Habet that. Now, when I did my Habet reviews, I got an email from the distributor saying, Anthony, could you just hold off on publishing it for a little while? The owner is overwhelmed with orders. And that's how, like, he had so many orders, because of all this influencing on the internet, which may be good or may be bad. And if you have Habet and love them, that's great. And if you have Hegel and love them, I've heard some great Hegel stuff as well. But this is another Norwegian company. It's called Elektrokompaniet. Some people call it Elektrokompaniet, but it's actually just Electro Company in English. And we're doing 4 reviews. We're doing that one, which is they're integrated, $6,200, and the review's coming out. Carl is going to be doing the, let me see which one it is. I'm doing that as well. That's their CD player. It's coming out. Very nice. I think it's SACD as well. And Carl is doing that one because Carl's a digital guru, as you say. And Carl's now I did speak to them. I did speak to the Canadian distributor, Carl. So it looks like you're gonna get one because they can't keep them in stock because the reviews have been amazing about this equipment. So I'm not sure how much it is, but that's the streamer and the DAC. Okay, so that's coming your way. And I I did a review for Origin Live, the Origin Live Enterprise Mark IV, and I've got it on my mono setup there. It's wonderful, wonderful arm. And then I got and we were talking about advertising, and it didn't happen, and that's fine, no problem. No problem. We're happy to review stuff without advertising. But then they asked me, Anthony, we loved the Enterprise review. Well, of course you did. It was a great review. I loved it. Could you review something else? So I was talking to my friend John Stratton. I said, can you believe that? Okay, I'll ask him for this. Can I please have your Voyager turntable and your Agile arm? It's about a 50,000 pound setup. And they went, oh, okay. So then they're special. They're making me one, which is very nice. And they're very, very nice people, by the way, Origin Life. So that's coming. And
Awesome.
the review will be at, I think, July 1st. And I'm going to do the arm separately because it's a 11,000 pound arm. So it should be fun. Now, Angelina, can you tell us a little bit about the Grandioso phono stage?
Yeah, it's brand new and I just got one in today. Oh no, I got the EO2 today. So the Grandioso is their top of the line. I just received their transport, Grandioso transport, Grandioso DAC, and clock today as well. The phono stage is on back order, but this is the creme de la creme. It's one of the best. Separate power supply. My understanding, it could also be clock. So I will have it on my esoteric turntable with the big Grandioso system. And I believe it will take a couple of different tone arms as well. So I'm still learning about this one. But what you see on the top is the power supply.
What does it retail for, Ange?
Give me a moment. I can check. You need to prepare me for stuff like this. Okay, esoteric. Grandioso price sheet. Here we go. Phono stage. Well, the EO2, which is a small brother, is very inexpensive. It's $9,500 US. And I don't see the Grandioso.
That's okay. It's expensive, and
Or-
it'll be amazing technology in there. Angie, this is something that I think a lot of people will be interested in. One of our one of our advertisers.
Yeah, this is a good idea.
Yeah,
The turntable, the record flattener.
Yes, the Orb is very expensive, and there's another one that Musical Surroundings is doing. They're advertised on our site, and they're very expensive. But this one is not that expensive. Angie, tell us a little bit about
I
this.
think this one is going to be like $1,200, and normally as a flat record flattener is in the 3K US price range. So I think this is going to be hot for a lot of people, especially people who collect old vinyl or haven't stored their vinyl properly. It's an automatic machine, so you just slide the record in, press it down, does its own temperature, and then it's ready and you're done. So you don't have to babysit it.
And what's the price, Angie? You remember? Is it $1,200?
I believe it was $1,200.
Yeah,
And that could be US.
US. Great. Okay, let me just remove that for now. Great, Ange, that was wonderful. Okay, Jim, before you fall asleep, we'll tell the Messiah story. Okay. Are you up for it?
James.
You
Yeah.
just fell asleep.
Okay. Well, when we were at Trinity, Jim and I, Jim would do like a lot of young conductors do and should. I was always too bloody lazy. And he would get groups together and perform and conduct them. And that's how you do things, right? And get things going. I remember we had a conducting fellow friend of ours named John Jansen who did Mahler 2, and I got to conduct the offstage band in Mahler 2. I mean, it was a lot of fun. We were like 19 and 20 years old. Jim was like 18. And so Jim was in the Merseyside Youth Orchestra, so he knew a lot of people at Trinity and the Royal Academy and the Royal College and Guildhall. So we had a lot of people. I just saw Andy Proctor's face on Facebook tonight, by the way, Jim. So anyway, Jim said, I'm going to get together a group and we're going to do Messiah. Jim said, can you sing in it? And I went, me? Really? You know me singing in your Messiah. He said, no, we're kind of thin. So there was 2 people in the tenor section, me and a composer named Jeff Twigg. You knew there was going to be a problem when Jeff and I were in the tenor section. Anyway, we're doing this rehearsal. I think it's the final rehearsal in this big church. And sometimes organizational things weren't Jim's strong point. He's brilliant in a million things. So the one thing about the Messiah and all these things is there are lots of different editions. And when you have different editions, sometimes they're in different keys. That's a problem. So Jim's handing out this music, cut number 10, cut number 12, because you've got Bugalux here singing the tenor part is a disaster, right? And Jim's kind of a smile on his face, and we're getting through some stuff. And some of the continuo, basso continuo, it was in the wrong key, and it was a little bit of a disaster, but we got through it. So then there were 2 girls.
We're okay. We got through to the end of part 1, which is the Christmas bit. That was fine. But we were using 3 editions. We were using the old Victorian Ebenezer Prout edition. We were using the Watkins Shaw Novella edition, and we were using the Edition Peters edition. And the Edition Peters edition was in German. And I got all these vocal scores begged, borrowed, and stolen, because we did have a chorus of about 40 people or whatever. And everybody was using a different edition.
It was, all I remember is on the show. We'll get to the rehearsal in a second. On the show, Jim's going and he goes, he does the dabby, and me and the other tenor go, yeah, and we're the only ones singing. And we're like, what the F is going on? So we're the only ones singing like a couple of jackasses, right? Because we were singing number 21, and in the other edition it's number 24 or something. So it was a bit of a disaster. We got the end and it was fine. The best thing was in the rehearsal, because we had 2 very attractive blonde sopranos,
Yeah.
friends of Jim's from the Royal Academy. They were from the Royal Academy of Music, and they were, they were fine sopranos, and they were, and during the smoke break, they went outside, and then they came back in, and they were sitting down, and all of a sudden, this guy, this skinhead, comes walking down the church aisle, and he says, "Let me tell you something, you two effing, you know what? I've just got out of prison, and I've killed, and I'll do it again." And Jim and I were like, at the whole choir's like, oh my God. Okay. Now my friend Mimi Schneider, who's an amazing woman from Northwestern, I was just about to get up to kind of help Jim, and she just grabbed my arm and says, like, "Sit down, jackass. He's gonna knife you." But anyway, he calmed down, and Jim said, "Look, we're in a professional rehearsal. You have to leave. You have to leave." So remember that, Jim? The coach. So the guy turned around to leave. One of the girls says to the guy, "Don't you talk to my friend like that." Remember, Jim? We're like, just this crazy man, get out of here. And he came back and said, "You effing, I will do that." Anyway, it went on for a little while, and he finally got out of here. But that was, and then of course the concert was an interesting concert with different editions, different keys, different pieces on continuo. So that's the Messiah story. That was one of the most interesting, awful experiences of my musical life. But we got through it, Jim. Remember? And then you did your little speech at the end. You did your little speech at the end to buck up all the troops.
Right.
Anyway,
well, the church were getting money. We were doing it for money for that church. I can't remember where the church was now. It's all sort of 50 years ago nearly now, so a long time ago.
I remember the guy was like 3 foot nothing. He came in. I don't think he had a knife in his hand, but he threatened us with a knife. And he just had this skinhead, which was big in the 70s in England. And, it was crazy. Anyway, so there you go.
The other problem, of course, is that, most of the churches in London have a sort of, there are a lot of druggies and people hang around because they give them out free food or whatever. Yeah. And so you've always got to be careful. But in those days, this was something new. And, well, I'd never done anything in a big London church before, so I was unaware of the fact that you had to make sure you kept the doors shut.
Oh, that's right.
Important, given the kids that got murdered in Britain through some crazy guy comes in and kills these 6-year-old girls a few weeks ago. I mean, you've got to keep the doors shut in rehearsals and make sure there's somebody on the door to keep people out.
So here we go, guys. We've got a lot of questions, guys, and then a lot of comments, and then we'll start showing some records. Okay. Oh, Matthew. Sorry, Playboy is an alias of mine. Got it, Matthew. So Jen, Postal Playboy is Matthew. Oh, now Jen said she said Matthew. She didn't. She's lying. Now I'm gonna get it. And as Sky says, "Do you stream, Joey?" And Frederick, hey Frederick, how are you? Would like to get James and Sky's opinion on the Amadeus Quartet. I find the first violin's tone kind of thin. Well, there's a story. I think I've said it before, and I'll say it very briefly. I love the Amadeus Quartet, and James and Jim, what do you think of the Amadeus?
No, they're a very fine quartet. But interestingly enough, the first violinist, what was his name? He plays the Kreutzer Strad that Beethoven's Kreutzer Sonata was first premiered on in front of Beethoven in 1805 or whatever. So whenever you listen to the Amadeus, you're listening to this Kreutzer violin.
Well, it's very interesting. He was asked to do the Beethoven Violin Sonata competition at Trinity. Do you remember that, Jim? And I was asked if I could to be the usher. So I had to welcome him to Trinity and take him to the common room, etc., and get him coffee and stuff, coffee and bickies. And he went and sat down and listened to all these students playing Beethoven. Now, the concertmaster of the orchestra was a very fine violinist, but I think he probably had a bad day. And the guy was writing the things, and he kind of left them open. So I had to take the responses, the adjudications, up to the boardroom. And it was right on top, and I could read it. And he said, this is what he said to a student. Okay, ready? This is the principal, first violin, Norbert Brainen of the Amadeus Quartet.
Yeah.
He said, completely completely incompetent in every way, shape, and form. Norbert Brainer. That was it. And that was it, man. These guys are taking any prisoners. So yeah, Frederick. Yeah, he's got a thin tongue. We don't like that, man. No, I think the Amadeus Quartet are wonderful. Leanne says, I also have a pair of monitor speakers there. Great sounding. And Joey streams from Amazon. Carl, who do you stream with, Carl?
Mainly Cobas.
They're the best.
They really are wonderful. They outlasted kind of Tidal, didn't they? Remember Tidal got waylaid with that origami stuff. What was that?
The
What was that?
MQA, they got
MQA.
They kind of invested in that very heavily, but they're beginning to move away from it more. And
Oh, Frederick said, Cobas will change your life. Absolutely.
Correct.
What a lineup from Deutsche Grammophon. Matthew says, I'm all over that Ozawa box. Good. Matthew, we'd like you to buy that, clean them all, play them all, and report back to us and say, yes, ladies and gentlemen of the Peanut Gallery, it is safe to buy. And Sky's going to order it as well. That's great. Sky, come on as well. Tell us, give us what it's like. Which program of Amadeus you heard FM? So Frederick, which one are you talking about? And Scott says he likes the electric company. It is very beautiful stuff. There's an acrylic plate in front. It's very, very nice. And Leanne says the cool gadget, the record flattening machine. And you know what? They're good. And of course, the Messiah story. What a story! Wowzers! What a yeah. We had to go through them. I mean, Jim and I had. There's more, but we got the Norbert Brainer story out and the Messiah story. So glad you guys are okay. Well, Jim had his bats on there. This is a professional rehearsal. You're gonna have to leave. And the guy's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And Joey has a question. Anthony or James, did you get into Northern Soul? I'm not sure what that is. Anybody know what that is?
It's a sort of soul music for the north of England. For people who live in the north of England. It's I don't know much about it, to be honest. Sorry, Joey. We can't help you there.
And Matthew is going to say, you got it, Maestro. Good. We want a full review from you and Sky. Okay, let me just I'll just squeeze that up. Hang on. Let me just get I just got it too big. Let me just get invitation up. Copy. Let's put it in here. So tonight's the night, guys. It's Christmas coming up. We got 2 weeks off. Come and show your faces. Show us some records. And Frederick said Amadeus playing Trout, various Mozart. Very nice. Okay, Scott, I'm going to put you big, bud. Let's see yours.
Oh, okay.
As they say.
Well, this week, someone I know from the past had kept telling me, he dropped by my workplace, kept telling me, I have this box of records for you. I have this box of records for you. I'm like, okay. You know, usually that's not going to be anything you really want. But I was like, okay, one day, bring them over. And he brought them over Sunday. They were from his lover that passed away, who was 100 years old when he passed away. And the first thing I saw in the stack was this, and I got excited because I was like, oh wow, maybe it's a whole bunch of jazz, and there is some jazz in there, but not a lot of classical. I'm going to show you the classical first. It's nothing really rare or unusual. They're monos of the living stereo stuff.
Even the mono's great at that.
Yeah. There is one mono here that's pretty interesting because of the cover, though. Well, this one's pretty interesting if you've never seen it.
Right.
That was never issued in stereo until Classic Records did it.
Sorry, Scott. Let me get you back. There we go.
Yeah.
Did you show that one again? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The original one of those is worth about $1,500 if you can find it. They said there weren't many pressed.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I have two. I might be rich. This is the Byron Janis.
Oh,
Yeah.
Were these gifted from that gentleman?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
These were in there. And this is really cool because I'd never seen the cover. I don't care for this performance, but that ended up, remember that ended up on the more modern stereo disc?
The Rachmaninoff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that modern one.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool to have that. So those were the classical ones. There's a couple of Cuban records that are pretty cool. They're little 10-inch records.
Oh, nice.
And they're fun, really fun to listen to. Cha-cha-cha. Cuba.
I think Jim's got that one. He does salsa dancing of an evening.
There's a handful of jazz here. You know, I've got better pressings of this now. But this is actually from South America.
Oh,
Is this? No, it's from South America. I don't know what country, but and then this.
Oh yeah. Oh nice.
This one I had never seen before.
yeah, I got that.
Oh,
You got that?
Yeah.
A Donald Byrd. A Blue Note.
It's an interesting record. There's a chorus on there. They do some
Right.
business type thing.
Brass and voices.
Yeah.
This one is the one that interests me most, I think.
wow. That's unique.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a mega story later.
This one, of course,
that's nice. Yeah.
we have the reissue now, but
Yeah.
the Time Out, it's pretty beat up.
Well, a lovely bunch of gifts.
Yeah, yeah. Mongo's greatest hits. You know who Mongo is?
Yeah,
Mongo sent-
they mentioned him in Blazing Saddles, if you remember.
Oh. Yeah, this is on, yeah, I don't know. It looks... Anyway, so that's that. But the main bulk of stuff was 78s. And I was like, oh, maybe there's going to be some blues or jazz 78s. And there's some 10-inch 78s. This one's on Dial, Art Tatum.
That's good.
Yeah. Duke Ellington on Columbia.
Oh wow, look at those 78s, man.
Yeah.
What I loved about John DeVore playing 78s at the audio show.
Oh.
I loved it. That he plays 78s to demo his stuff. Like that.
Savoy. I love the labels. This is George Shearing. Way back then.
Love George Shearing.
This is a Billie Holiday. Good Morning Heartache.
Oh wow.
I think the degritter might be.
No, you can't. Actually, you
These are
can't.
shellac.
The shellac. You'll
Oh.
totally wreck. My father had a 78. One of his recordings he did, and I wrecked it. Like an idiot.
King Cole Trio. No, the Sugar Cube would be good for this.
Yes.
Yeah. Woody Herman. You know, stuff like this. So anyways, the last thing, well, the last two are really kind of cool. This is Johnny Hodges, which I just reviewed his record. I love the label.
Those records, those 78s are amazing. Look at those labels.
You know,
I know.
Charlie Parker credits Johnny Hodges for his sound. He loved Johnny Hodges' sound. Everybody thinks Parker was the be all and end all, but it was Johnny Hodges who was.
I got a Johnny Hodges mono with Jerry Mulligan, just the two of them.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
And the last of the loose ones here. This is just a selection, but this one, I'm having a feeling like it might be rare. I don't know. It's called Salty Papa Blues, Albania Jones, with Don Bias, Swing 7. I've heard some
Don
blues.
Bias, very famous.
I went to a website that buys 78s, and basically all it said was, we don't buy basically everything here except blues records. That's all they want. Your classical, your pop, and everything is worthless, pretty much. And then there was big books like this full of them too.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, so it was an interesting haul.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. And I know that Jim is up in Liverpool, so he doesn't have any records today. But he will be back, as they say. But I know that Jack has been shopping. So, Jack, you want to show us some records?
Yeah. I'll tell you a really quick Mingus story. It's almost as good as your Messiah story.
Thanks.
So I'm in the I think it was the Village Vanguard one night, and Mingus was a nutcase, so he was certifiable, genius musician, but crazy guy, and the crowd wasn't really listening to him too well. So he decided that if they weren't going to listen, he wasn't going to play. So he stopped the band. He walked to the back and brought out a chess board and played chess with Don Cherry for about an hour. And then looked at everybody and said, "Are you ready to listen to me play now?" And I'll put the chessboard away. And we listened the rest of the night. And it was pretty interesting. Anyhow,
Cool.
yeah. So this is this is Arthur Fiedler and the Boston Pops. This was $1, Jim. This was my 99.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I haven't listened to this. I have no idea what it is yet. Let me get the glare out of here if I can. That might help. There you go. Anybody know anything about that?
Is it laminated?
It's not shaded.
No, the jacket.
I'm
It
gonna
looks
take
like it's.
it is.
Oh, you got it in a sleeve. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty shiny.
Oh, you've talked about that record before.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Earl Wild's great.
I was going to list it out tonight, but anyhow, this is really interesting.
Oh,
It's the Phillips,
Mhm.
and this record it sounds amazing. I'm not quite sure how old it is. I think it was maybe in the 70s.
well, it's a very famous recording. It's considered about.
Sound is just amazingly
Only
good.
Jim has got us better with the Cleveland, which is amazing. But that cell consecutive about to the studio to second, it's amazing.
This was about. I didn't pay any more than $5 a record. Some of them were $3, some of them were $4. There's a store here
that
that
record-
doesn't know the value of these yet, and of course I didn't tell them. I listened to this afternoon,
Ah, yeah.
and I have
Yeah.
to tell you, it sounds like Jim knows about this. I thought the speed of my turntable was wrong. This is the fastest Molly one I have ever heard in my life.
There's also a very bad edit in that.
Man.
The very last two notes are clipped. It's
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah. And the picture, I think they could have found a better picture. He looks like God.
It's not one of the
looks like
most
he's had-
attractive covers.
Just doesn't look good. But it's an interesting. I've never seen a gold and black Everest label before.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
out
it's
there.
a newer version of this. The originals came out. There was a colorful label that Everest had. What else? This is more.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And this is on the pig RCA Victrola label.
Did you hear it yet?
Yeah, it's very clean. It's pristine.
Yeah.
This was $5.
Beautiful.
Those-
That's a great buy, man.
Yep.
Those
So,
pink
Jack, what
ones
is that?
It's the Strauss.
Symphonia Domestica.
Oh, Mexico.
I don't know. I'm really a Cleveland and a Chicago guy here. That's kind of my go-to, and they do a great job on Strauss.
Certainly do.
Let's see what else. I just dropped one here. I'll tell you. Jim, I thought about it. I picked this up.
Yeah, I mean they're great recordings of Vaughan Williams. Bold. I mean, is that the Serenade to Music with the soloist or the instrumental one?
It's got vocal and instrumental on it.
Okay, yeah.
But the recording on the voices is just amazing. It's so
One of the most beautiful pieces of music ever wrote, 782 music. Try and listen to it with the voices. 16 professional singers. It's incredible.
I remember, a little story, Anthony, on that is James Goodall. We were having dinner in a restaurant called Vecchia Milano in Marylebone. Anthony, you'll remember Vecchia Milano. And James Goodall was in there with a very old lady called Mary Jarrett. And Mary Jarrett was the first soprano in Serenade to Music when Henry Wood conducted it in 1928 or something. And she was then 95, and she was having dinner with James Goodall, and James invited me over and, sort of made a big fuss, and, I joined them for dessert and things. And she was an amazing lady, absolutely amazing. She lived to about age 99. And she was quite a character, one of these larger than life singers, like all the sort of greats were in those days. They were real personalities. And I'll always remember that night. Mary Jarrett. And
That's a great recording, though. Like I say, the voices are just really, really well done. I haven't listened to this. I have it on CD, but these are the Brahms
very good.
Barbaroli.
Underrated.
And it's this Angel label. And this was $4.99.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's very clean.
It looks like it's brand new.
Yeah, that's very, very clean. I did clean them. And then last but not least, not one of the best Heroicans, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just so.
His Eroica with the apps Consega, that's the one Jim recommends. It's amazing.
That is
Thanks,
superb.
Jack. Amazing.
You've got to record it. So, and I have a lot more, and I don't want to take. I could go another half hour
okay.
here.
We've got other shows coming up.
Here.
So we've got Ryan has joined us. Hi, Ryan from Maui. How are you?
Oh, very good.
Oh, good to see you. And of course, the ubiquitous Sky. Sky, thank you so much for the lovely birthday greetings, and it was wonderful to hear from you as usual. It's lovely to see you. So, Carl, we're going to go to Carl, and Carl's going to talk a little bit about some streaming for us.
Let's see. Yeah, I had some things that I went over probably 2 weeks ago. So I haven't, there were a lot of new things came out and I made a note of it. And so I'll show you some of what I had found about 2 weeks ago. And there's some even newer stuff that I haven't gotten around to yet, but let's see what I got here. One of the nice things about, say Qobuz and Rune and all that is that some of the new ones, when they come out, there's a digital file attached to it that you can download, which has more detail about the recording and history and things like that. And so I've been more and more downloading those things because there's better graphics and so forth than just showing the front of a. So let me see what I got here. There's this one here. Whoops. Right. I guess this is here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Good stuff there.
There's so much you can, in here that you can read about in all of these things. That was one I found. Now there's another one here. Let's go back.
Oh, interesting. Tippett, Beethoven, and Knussen is a great composer, Oliver Knussen. People should listen to his stuff. He's a great composer. His dad was principal bass at the LSO, and he just died about 5 or 6 years ago. Oliver Knussen, and a wonderful composer.
Yeah, it was kind of a pleasant surprise to find this. Okay, this one here, let's see. The Choir of King's College London. James, this is for you.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I can't quite see it. I
can make it bigger. I tried to, but let's see if I can.
Actually, Carl, an interesting question. When you're getting all this stuff, you're getting this through Qobuz, are you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking the thing is that I'm getting it through Qobuz mainly, but then Rune has all sorts of additional features. And so I'm not really sure who's supplying this PDF file. I really don't know.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. So on Tidal, when I was on Tidal, I never got any of the liner notes or anything on it. You just got the basic album cover and the recording. But you seem to be getting a lot of the really good liner notes and stuff, as if it's a CD or LP release, which is interesting.
It may be because of Rune. I'm not sure. They have so
Right.
much other material that's thrown in there with it.
Mm,
That's a good question. I'll try to find out by going just opening up Cobuzz by itself and see if it has the same things. I don't know.
yeah.
Here's, I don't know, because of sometimes we come across, a composer from Finland and things like that. I thought this caught my eye because I recognize it.
Yeah, that's a new. Yeah, I just streamed that today. Actually, that's good.
Okay.
Sky.
Yeah, it's a new. I think it's a new 2024. I think release.
Oh yeah, it just came out about 2 weeks ago at most. Yeah.
What'd you
So,
think, Carl?
Carl?
You like it?
No, I liked it. I caught that one because it also came. There's another one from Finland that caught my eye as well. What did I do with that one? It was a young conductor from Finland, like age 39 or something. He's very well known. Like, I mean, you'll recognize his-
Klaus?
Makula or Pelkowski? Klaus
No, I don't
Makula?
think. Maybe that's it. Hold on, because
Leanne liked
I
it.
was-
She listened to it. I liked it very much. Leanne, you listen to a lot of great stuff. By the way, where are you, dear? Sorry, go ahead. I'm just talking to Leanne.
Are you calling me dear?
Yeah.
One more thing.
Great
Anthony
stuff.
mentioned CDs, but I just thought I have hundreds of CDs in my office, and about 99% of them are classical. But at some point, I'm just gonna show you just to look at, if you can see it. There's buckets and buckets of CDs.
Oh yeah, cool.
They're all classical except for maybe 5%. So when they're in a little better shape, I'm hoping to spend some of the break finally, because whenever I come in my office, I say I'm going to do it, and then I get distracted with work.
Hey,
and I don't
Carl?
do it. Yeah.
Carl, could you show us that whiteboard again?
Yeah, I looked at that as well. Yeah, what's on the whiteboard, Carl? Anything?
Holy smokes!
Holy crap!
Well, the only really cool thing is like, this one. I think my young daughter did this one, and she did this one. And this is just some mathematics that I do.
That would make a great cover for some kind of a record.
This is more of the CDs. You can see so many are there. And then also over here. But funny enough, one thing I found tonight sitting there was all of Monty Python in the DVD, every single Monty Python. I found
really?
that. And then I found, for those of you who like the Three Stooges, I also found that. So anyways, that's besides the point. But and Anthony, you mentioned something about CDs, but I had some classical ones at home and I didn't bring them. But this is something that I really love anyways. It's not classical, but it's Bill Bruford's. Oops, what happened? Nothing there.
Keep going. We can see you. I'm just going to put you solo.
Oh, there. Random Acts of Happiness. It's one of my very favorite CDs. That's all I'll say. Bill Bruford's Earth Wind.
Great drummer.
Oh,
Carl, let me
Alright.
tell you,
I must make notes of that. Get it.
What's that?
if any of your superiors ever break into your office and see that whiteboard and then find the Three Stooges,
No problem. I used to have a poster that said Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
yeah,
Okay, guys, we must get this through this tonight. This is building a library, and this is Ein Heldenleben, and this is the very famous 1960 something with Carrie Ann. And I remember when I was a little boy, my father had this record, and I didn't know what it was. I liked the color, but I thought to myself, who is that scary man on the front? I'm very scared of him. My dad said, "Oh, don't worry, don't be scared of him." Anyway, so that I grew up on that, and I want to hear all your ideas for great Heldenleben. So I'm just going to give you mine first. That you can get on vinyl. It's very, very good. This is a new one in Montreal with Raphael Payare and the L'Orchestre de Symphonique de Montréal. It's very well done. It's pentatone, good recording, but the playing is very good. He's a good conductor. He's doing well. And then, of course, as Jack mentioned with Rainer, his Heldenleben, it's on Victrola. Rainer is fantastic. and that's for next week. So let me just remove this, and let me just remove this. Remove, and let me just go solo layout, and I've got this one, and this is the one that Ryan showed last time, and this is the Haiku Supercuts, the world's worst cover, Thomas Beecham, with a raw fill. You wouldn't think that'd be a match made in heaven for this kind of music, but it's brilliant. And Stephen Starrett, the Toronto violinist, is the concertmaster, is wonderful. Now, just to let you know, this is the one was my first Haiku Supercut, and it's excellent. There's nothing wrong with it. It's very good. Is it the best you'll ever hear? No, but it's very, very good. Nice pressing. But after that, I thought, great, I'm going to get, a lot. And they were dreadful, awful,
Dreadful, yeah.
not good at all. And they said the same, they're the same mass tapes at Abbey Road, but no way. They were just dreadful. So anyway, your mileage may vary, but that's a very good one if you want to get a vinyl one. Now, let's go around. Let's go. Let me think about your Heldenlebens. What do you have?
Rudolf Kempe.
Let me just get you big there, buddy. Yeah, Kempe, you can never go wrong.
Kempe is Dresden Staatskapelle. Lovely recording. Well worth listening to.
Do you know he had one on YouTube that they took it off of him conducting the Royal Philharmonic at his last year of his life with the principal new principal of the LSO when he did Star Wars. He was the principal horn, and Eric Gruenberg on violin. But they took it off. You can never find it. It was a really wonderful performance from the Proms. Scott, do you have one?
Yes, I do. This one is in the Franklin Mint set that I talked about a couple times on the channel. These elaborate 100 record set. And they chose, their team of conductors and musicians and historians chose Ormandy's performance. It is, sorry, it looks like this. The violin solo is by Anshel Brusilov.
Anshel Brusilov, yeah, he was the concertmaster for a long time.
Yeah, Philadelphia Orchestra. These are
right.
Yeah. So they thought that this was the most worthy performance to include in this. It does sound pretty good, actually.
What's in that?
What?
What's in that set, Scott?
Hello
would you repeat the set? What was the set for?
The what?
That box set.
Oh, it's called. It was made by the Franklin Mint. It's called the 100 Greatest Recordings of All Time.
Just the Strauss, all that for Strauss?
No, there are. Oh, this whole box? No, there's also the Strauss Reiner, Zarathustra, and Don Juan.
Oh,
in this particular one, this one is called Richard Strauss Tone Poems. So there's 50 volumes of these.
You made us serious about that. I remember.
Yeah.
Someone has, guys, if you don't mind, someone has something repeating the sound. You either got YouTube on, or there's something on in the house, or the kids got something on. Could you make sure it's turned off? I'm not sure who it is. Otherwise, we'll have to. Can you hear it? Maybe it's not. It's gone. Hopefully, I hear a little bit of reverb. Anyway, guys. So thank you, Scott. Carl, did you have a streaming one for Ein Heldenleben that you listened to? The Montreal one is very good.
I'm sorry, I don't.
That's okay, no problem. Try the Montreal one. I think you'll enjoy it. James likes Kempe. Jack, do you have a favorite one?
I don't, other than the one that you showed with the Reiner on RCA. That's my favorite.
We got a couple here. Kelvin says Ein Heldenleben CBSO Nelson's. I've heard that's very good, very good. And Frederick said a very good historical Heldenleben. Mengelberg NYPO. Wow, on pristine audio CD. I bet you that's something. Good. Sky, do you have a Heldenleben?
No, I really don't. I think.
No problem. Ryan, you had the same one as I did, right?
Yeah, I had the original EM Capital, and I I listened to that with this and went back and forth quite a bit, but I concluded this is better, the original.
Cool.
It's he made this near the end of his life, and the sticker they have on it says, "A hero's life is the last major orchestral work recorded by the late Sir Thomas Beecham." You know, it says Memorial Edition. It came out after he died, but he recorded it right before he died. So they make note of that on their hype sticker, which is permanently affixed to this. I also have I think it's a great recording. I also have the Franklin Mint. It's not sure. And I actually prefer the Ormandy.
It's a theme.
It sounds better than most Columbia recordings to me. What do you think, Scott, compared to Columbia?
Yeah, no, it does. I think it's much better than a typical Columbia.
By the way, can you hear that sound? Someone's got something on in the house.
Yeah,
Let me double check.
Kind of an echo going on there.
No, it's still there, Scott.
No, I don't think it's me, but
No.
I'm going to close everything. Well,
Can you hear that? Is it just me can hear it? Or can
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
the producer says she can hear it?
yeah, I
So-
hear it too.
Yeah.
No, it's not me. I've got it all
Let's get
closed.
Andrew up here to technology shame you when we find out who the problem is.
If you're on your phone doing this, you have to close everything else.
Yes, everything. It's okay,
Yeah.
guys. So Angie, do you have a nine Heldenleben?
I have the Franklin Mint as well. I think it's a collection of 36 binders, which I have, and that's included.
Yeah. What do you think about that set, Ange?
Someone
I absolutely love it. I mean, the
Yeah.
red vinyl adds to the sound quality.
Yes.
It's not an
yeah.
accident that they use red vinyl. It's
So we have two conversations going on. We're going, and someone has got something on, like you've missed something, and you.
It started when
Is that right?
Sky knows better.
Should we blame Ryan's kid? Let's just blame Ryan's kid. He's playing video games in the back. Okay. Anyway, thanks, Ange. So
He's not in the car today.
What's that?
He's on the-
No.
Saturday? Oh. Do you have a
we've got
turntable in the back?
So Piccolina the cat. That's Ozzy. Good evening, Anthony, with your fine panel and peanuts. Hi, Ozzy. Good to see you. You were on Loki's here. Hey, Loki. You guys were all on Rachel this morning. My God. There's a couple of guys that just live on not you guys, but they live on the stream. They come on the stream every day, and they do like 6 to 8 hours of streams, and they're retired. And ladies, they're single. Go figure. Okay. They're on these streams all day long. Anyway, Alan, how are you, my friend? What's going on?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. How are you? Good to
Yeah.
see everybody.
Let me just pitch you big for a second.
Okay.
I'm glad we got that out of the way. At least we got Heldenleben done. Those Heldenlebens are great. And if you love Heldenleben as much as most people do, it's a fantastic piece. If you're not sure, Heldenleben is A Hero's Life, written by Richard Strauss. And of course, the hero is Richard Strauss. What a surprise. How you doing, Alan? What's going on, my friend?
Well, I have a few records to show.
Good.
A few minutes back, someone asked about Northern Soul. So on that, this is a group. They were from the United States, but they went to England. They were called the Flirtations. And they had one hit song that I knew of, the only song I knew, called Nothing But a Heartache, which really a great song. And I found this album finally at a record store a couple of years ago.
We could play Stump the Band and we could see who could sing that, you know?
Right. And it was made in England, 1969.
Look at that.
Yeah. So it's kind of a one-hit wonder. I saw an interview with them a couple of years ago on YouTube. Really charming young ladies. They went to England. I think they did well over there, but that was it as far as hits go. And then another record I wanted to show, which I think Jack will appreciate, and I think Scott as well, because he did a piece on them on the Pressing Matters a little while ago. This is the OG.
How is
Oh,
I really liked it. I just got it a couple of days ago. It's
Oh.
just, Shelly Mann on percussion instruments and Jack Marshall on classical guitar playing
A
standard.
great player.
And you have the way it's separated, you have right in the middle of the guitar, and then the percussion goes back and forth from
What label is that on it, Alan?
Yeah, it's on Capitol.
It is.
Oh, cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
Any dare I say classical records, Alan?
Yes, that was it for
We
the
can show those tomorrow morning on Buddy Rachel's show.
and simply because
Oh, look.
Jack just showed it, I had it on the call.
There
That's
you
a great
go.
Okay, this one
That
I've
is
just been listening to now, and then I'll listen to the rest of it tonight.
Beautiful.
That's salty. That's a good one. I have it.
Beautiful.
I think it was this was pressed in 1968.
Nice. Beautiful performances.
Yeah.
Anthony, this is what I was talking about earlier, how some of these records from the late 60s, mid 60s, London, Decca, man, if they're in good shape, they still sound fantastic.
Yeah.
I just listened tonight, 60-year-old record.
This is the last record I have.
Yeah.
It's classic.
Oh, hang on, Alan. Let me get you big bud.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of that? That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
bit of a
No,
reputation.
it was good. I liked side 2 better, Hamlet, than the first side, but it's really sounds good. And it's on the Everest label.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the first label. Yeah.
Just following up on Angie's recommendation of a couple months back,
Oh, hang on.
Oh, yeah.
I acquired this.
Lyra. Good.
Oh,
to
cool.
be
Yeah.
my stylus. And my upgrade of the week was these interconnects. They're by
Very nice.
RadioQuest to connect from the phono stage to the amplifier.
Oh,
Very good.
nice. How'd you like it?
Very good.
You're loving cables, eh? That's
Yeah.
great. You know that Angie sells cables?
Angie, can I ask an audio file question? Just a really quick
Sure.
question. So I think I know the answer, but I bet somebody's thinking about this. So you've got a cable that goes theoretically from an amplifier to a preamp, from the phone, from your turntable to a phono stage. Is there any one cable? If you had to replace one cable, which one would you replace with a really great quality cable?
You always start with the source. Start with improving the source. And so that would be either your tone arm cable or the phono stage to your preamp.
I thought that'd be the
Now that's
Yeah.
going to improve the turntable phono stage setup. So if you're streaming and you have a DAC streamer or a DAC, then you'd want to improve that one. And then you'd follow it through with the preamp to the power amp. That's the way I would do it.
Very cool. Great, Angie. And
Like
they're
there are
all
tone arm
important.
cables. If a lot of the tone arms have detachable tone arm cable that a lot of people don't know they can replace and improve. Some tone arms are wired right from the pins of the head shell through the tube of the tone arm right down to the connecting cable. So that means rewiring the whole tone arm right down to the cable. So you have to check what you've got. If you've got a detachable bin that plugs into the bottom of the tone arm, you can replace that cable. Or as I just described, from the pins through the tube, down the assembly right to the RCA connectors. Or they can also be balanced.
Yeah, I
So
thought
those
that'd
are
be
the two ways
I
to
had a
improve your tone arm cabling.
somebody
Getting a
might
lot of love there, Angie.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of love. Phono cables are important, but they all are. Like I cannot believe sometimes you put a power cord in and really love, like Alan, was it a power cord that you bought?
Power cords. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, it's the Kimber cable Ascent PK10, which really makes a
Yeah, for
big,
another
big
good things
difference.
about that kind of stuff. Great
Tremendous
cables
upgrade.
matter. They're components. They really are. Okay, guys, we've got about 15 minutes left. And I think the producer may come and say Merry Christmas in a little while, so that'll be nice. Sky and James, we're going to get to you guys next. Do you have any, Sky, did you get any records this week to show us?
I do. Yeah, sure.
Get up your credit cards.
No,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
let me show you. This surprised me. So this is bonbons. It's like this is done by the Boswowski ensemble. So this is a Willy Boswowski violin. So the program on this piece is Strauss, Chinese gallops, kind of Strauss dances. So we had Mozart, and I mean, this just surprised me really.
Willy Boswowski, brilliant ex-concert master of the NFL.
And this is on Vanguard label.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that this violin on this just sounds fantastic. It really is.
Beautiful, Sky.
And let me get you another one. And this is Tortilla.
Oh yeah, they're very expensive on Discogs. Anything with Tortelier EMI. I keep getting bugged to get that arpeggione. It's about $110. I'm not ready to pull the trigger on yet. But that's amazing.
This is really good. It's really, really good.
He's an amazing cellist.
What else? Oh, this was a surprise. I mean, I heard the violin concerto, James. I was really surprised with this. It just the violin concerto. I was surprised. So, if you like Tchaikovsky violin concerto, I highly recommend it. It's
Really, that's interesting.
it was interesting, absolutely interesting, and I like it. His playing is really good. So that's about it. I have more. That's about
Thank you, Sky. Okay, and we're going to go to my friend James. Jim, thank you. First of all, Jim, thank you so much for those CDs.
Absolutely.
I was swearing at FedEx.
It was hard.
It's been delivered. It's been delivered, and they just stuck it outside because I must have not given you my unit number.
Oh.
So it's my fault completely. And
I think it was, I went to mail it and I found out you guys were on strike. That I was going to UPS it or United States Post Office, and they told
we got here,
and they finally settled today, right? So
yeah, 2 days ago.
Okay, so
anyway, thank you for that the bonus, the George Sell.
Yeah, well, I hope you enjoy that.
With the Cleveland Orchestra. I'm going to listen to that. I'm going to do a full critique on January the 8th and just tell you how crap the orchestra sounds. No, I can't wait. I'm just teasing. I can't wait. I can't wait here.
No, the recording itself is rather dry, but the performance is one that I mean, it's got to be one of the 10 best live performances on.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'll be listening tomorrow morning. So you got some records to show us, James?
Yeah, well, this is seconding James's.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. That box set.
Yeah,
on Heldenleben. Yeah, I've got all those. But I just wanted the Capitol stuff with Milstein. You haven't heard the mono recordings. I mean, you talked about one of them last week, I think, but. Well, especially the Paganiniana, he's famous for the arrangement of the 20 and that recording is just incredible. I've got like lots of Milstein here, but this is one that if you think his DG recording is good, these are better.
Yeah.
This is the Capitol and they're
Love those.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here's a question for Scott. Scott, can you read that from Scott?
Are EMI French pressings on par with traditional EMI pressings? I don't have a lot of experience with it. I have a few, and to me, I thought maybe not. I think maybe the originals are better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got, Jim?
Just one more. This is the bargain of the week. They redid the Beethoven symphonies, and if you haven't, they're unbelievable.
They are great.
Yeah.
Remember, Ian Brucefield, ex-principal trombone of the London Symphony Orchestra. We were talking on Facebook one time. He's an incredible trombone player. And he went to the Vienna Philharmonic, that other orchestra, actually also. And he was talking about probably the greatest orchestral record he's ever heard. He says, as he listens, he still cannot believe it. Cell, Death and Transfiguration, and I'm not sure what the other piece is. Is it Don Juan on it? But he said he's never heard anything like it. So I listened to it on Streamed It, and he was right. It was absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, his Strauss is pretty great. It's just too bad it wasn't recorded better. The Don Quixote too, with Fournier on cello, is really well done.
Oh, I love that piece. I've got the Testament reissue of that with Rudolf Kemper, Berlin Phil, and I think it's Tortelier. It's very, very good. Let me just get everybody up again.
That's good.
We're just about got about 8 or 9 minutes. So, what are people doing? First of all, thank you tonight to the great in the gallery, and thank you for the last. This is episode 47, and they said it wouldn't last 47 weeks.
Can I just take 1 second about Cubos? I looked up Cubos while you guys were talking.
Go ahead, John.
To James.
Some of the new things here have the written information that we'd all like to read. There are 3 dots here. And if you press down on the 3 dots and then press on description, it tells you the release date, what have you. And then below it says, see digital pocketbook. And you'll be able to read all of that stuff. Now, it's only on the new releases. The old
Which one
stuff
are you?
doesn't.
Which
Cubos.
Oh, Cobas. Okay. Just
Yeah.
direct. Was used, not rooms. Was there
3
maybe?
dots, and then you'll figure it out. But just on the new stuff, the old stuff will just give you the release date, what have you. But there is information there on new releases.
Cool. Thank you, Jack.
Excellent.
So anyway, thank you so much to the Peanut Gallery for the whole 47 weeks that we've been on. I think we only missed 1 week, and of course my stitches thing. Boy, it's amazing. I mean, it's fun with all the gang and the panel and I guess, but boy, the Peanut Gallery really make it very special. Thanks for all your recommendations on Heldenleben, and it's lovely to see everybody. And please come back and most of all have the best holiday, the best holiday season, whether you're celebrating Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. Have a wonderful time. Hang on, Alan's got Alan's doing. Alan, this is not Rachel's show, Alan. Go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
Oh, wait. Oh, I just lost it. Hold on. Sorry.
You silly bugger.
There we go. Okay. Whoops.
Oh, that's adorable.
Are they your children?
One of them is my granddaughter. She'll be 5 next month.
Yeah, we've got the grandkids coming now. We got Carl's little cellist. Where's Flora? Our little granddaughter Flora had a concert. Jan, let's show Flora's concert. That's about 8 hours. No, that's adorable, Alan. What's the name?
Her name is Selena.
Oh, isn't that
Yeah,
beautiful?
they just had that a couple days ago. It was great.
So, Anthony, should
Yes.
we start chanting, "We want Jan, we want Jan, we want Jan, show your face, we want Jan." Come on, guys, help me. Mike, there it is.
Why don't you, Anthony,
Hi,
why don't you
Jan.
trade-
Merry Christmas.
Oh, look.
Merry Christmas, man.
You know,
Merry
Anthony had a birthday the other day too, so we can.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think
I
Beethoven's
blanked out. I
birthday.
didn't even notice it. I felt
they
terrible.
should trade seats, I think.
Trust me, I know. We've been together 42 years. Joey says Jan. My beloved brother-in-law who recently passed away. We loved him dearly. I used to call Jan. Frederick, of course. When I met Frederick is so sweet. May I say hello? Oh, of course. Hi, how are you? I'm Anthony. I said, this is my friend, my friend. This is my wife, Jan. And he goes, oh, the famous Jan. That's right, Frederick. You christened her. She loved it. It went straight to her head. Sky's apple pie and Frederick's comments. Come a little closer, please. Anyway, guys, what's going on over Christmas? Anything special? Nothing? No one's doing anything special.
Eat,
Jim,
drink, and be merry, really.
yeah, Jim. Where are you spending Christmas Day?
Oh, in London, and then I'm going to Wales for New Year.
Oh, beautiful.
What's in
Angie,
Wales?
where you,
I'm going to South
Spending,
Wales, I'm going to Monmouthshire, near Hereford. Very beautiful.
Nice.
I'm
Yeah.
on.
And
Get
I'm
with the
spending-
program. You gotta watch the whole show. We know you're in LA partying all the time, but come on for the beginning of the show and you'll know the schedule. No, I mean, no show next week or the following week. It's Christmas and then New Year's. We're back January 8th. It's great to see. Come on up again sometimes.
Yeah.
We really want you to come. Yeah, I think Scott down. And Tech Writer says,
He's got the best record.
sorry, Scott. Tech Writer says, thanks for a great 2024. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's great. I mean, there are a lot of people that behind the scenes that just send private chats, and the people have sent well, the good wishes we know about, but the Jim sending CDs and Sky sending records and Jack sending records and amazing. So thank you so much. I know, Ryan, you said you put some records in the mail, but it's Canada Post. They said no, we can't send it yet.
I tried to send it the day they stopped accepting them. I tried again yesterday. They're still not accepting them at the U.S. Post Office here. Have you guys been able to mail to Canada lately?
I think it's just happening.
It's just starting to come back, Ryan.
KIWD, can you please? How do I ban somebody from the show? This guy, KIWD said, starring Anthony, but Jan is classically more beautiful than you. You got that right. She's the most beautiful person I've ever met. You're absolutely right. Yes, you're absolutely right. So anyway, guys, listen, we're just about finished. We've got about 2 minutes. Stick around for the after show, the after party. I'm going to do like Rachel. Rachel says she has a Patreon, and then she has a little thing. But I know sometimes the after party gets a little bit raucous. Yeah, so raucous. And you should hear what we say about the peanut gallery. Boy, Sky just slags you off like you would not believe. It's just awful. No, we have a lot of fun. But yeah, no show next week and the week after, but then we're back January the 8th. And Wicked Exile says happy holidays to all, of course, and to you, Wicked Exile. See you tomorrow morning on Rachel's show. And guys, so thank you so much for the most wonderful season. It was fantastic. We've God knows how many records we showed. I mean, just last week we showed must have been 200 records last week. It's really great. And
you have a record of showing records now.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, we have our amazing guests. We have more amazing guests. I mean, boy, some of the players and principals of the Royal Phil and the LSO, and we've got the Cleveland coming up, and great violinists, concert violinists, and violin makers. And Peter, I was talking to Peter Puritz, the violin maker, luthier, and also the great violinist. And he watches every time. He's going to come up. He's got some great historical records. He's going to come up and show. So that'll be fun. Okay, guys, if I don't see you or don't speak to you, have the most wonderful holiday time and get some time with your family, eat a lot of great food. Have a great holiday, and we'll see you January the 8th. Take care, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Take care.